celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the One Project. And I got to tell you, a lot has happened in this last year. At our Lakeside campus, the fields are in, and we're about to start another season of Upward Soccer. I'm told that over 200 kids are involved in Upward Soccer, and about 70 of those have no church affiliation. Think about this. We have the ability to touch a couple hundred people every weekend as they come onto the fields for soccer games, and our coaches share the gospel and teach. Not only that, in this last year, across the street of the downtown campus, the annex, it just looks so great. The landscaping is awesome, and the chapel has had a lot of renovation. We've even started an 8:15 service that next weekend on Easter Sunday, it'll move to 8:30 and stay at 8:30 from that time forward. We've already used it for some funerals, and we have weddings that are being booked on a regular basis that people are learning about it. Hardwood floors are about to go in, and that is just a great space across the street. This last year, we've reduced the debt about $140,000 as we continue to attack that debt. The children's building, the plans, we're at the 90% drawings right now and are almost ready to complete that. That's kind of the nuts and bolts of what's happened, but let me tell you what's happened in the life of the church over this last year. In 2012, we are averaging every weekend about 150 more than we were last year. That's almost equivalent to planting 2 new churches when you think about growing that much. Our student ministry is on fire. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Disciple Now, and they had about 120 kids involved in that, and lives really are being changed. Our small groups are reaching out to the community through projects, and we're seeing them touch so many lives through that. This last year, we baptized 84 people and saw 150 people unite and join with this church. We've seen the children's attendance at our Lakeside campus almost double. So many great things are happening because you've been faithful to the One Project. But there's still so much to do. We need to complete the village in Burundi. After about a 6 or 7 month delay, finding out it's as hard to do things there with red tape as it is here, we finally got our nonprofit established, and we're in the process right now of building that community center, and we hope to be starting that services there in July. But the big issue is we really need to build the children's building at Lakeside. We've always committed that we don't want this project to put us deeper in debt. So really the whole factor is that we want to pay for it as we go along. To do that, we've determined that we need $350,000 in our bank account. We'll have $100,000 of that set aside for cash reserves, and we'll have $250,000 of that dedicated directly to the children's building. At the end of this 3-year project, we will come out of it with more building and less debt. So here's what I'm asking you as a church. First of all, let me say this. If you're tithing and you're giving to the One Project, as many of you are, I want to say thank you. Much of what I've mentioned above was made possible because of your giving. But if you're tithing and you're not giving to the One Project, let me ask you to prayerfully consider making a 2-year commitment in helping us to get that children's building built. Some of you, you're new to the church, and this is really your first opportunity to be a part of this project. Some last year you were in a different financial place, and now you're able to do it. So would you prayerfully consider making a 2-year commitment to the One Project? In the next several weeks, you're going to get a letter in the mail from me, and it's going to explain how and when all that's going to happen. But I really am asking you to seek the Lord's leadership on that. And then lastly, if you're not giving at all financially to the church, I would encourage you to start with the tithe. I know that this is about the One Project, but God calls us first and foremost to bring our tithes to church, to bring them to the storehouse. And so let me challenge you to start there, and then you can pray about the One Project. The last weekend of this month, April 28th and 29th, we're going to have a special harvest offering. And we're going to ask everybody on that weekend not only to bring your tithe, but to bring an offering over and above your tithe. And let's see how close we can get to that $350,000 figure. hopefully, and my prayer is that we'll be breaking ground this summer. It's so exciting to see what God is doing. And in fact, next weekend is going to be an incredible weekend. We'll have thousands of people gather in our 6 services as we come together to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Well, let me give you one challenge as I close. I challenge you to invite somebody to come with you. Every study shows there's 2 times when your neighbors, co-workers, friends, extended family are more likely to respond to an invitation to come to church. One of those is Christmas Eve, and of course the other is Easter. Invite them to come and join you as we celebrate the resurrected Lord. I am so humbled and proud and happy to be a part of what God is doing here, to be your pastor, and I am so looking forward to not just the next 2 years, but the next 20 as God continues to move. Love you guys.